November 13th, 2017. All right, pledge allegiance like my marriage says.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Newton.
Here.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Chesno.
Here.
Ms. Dixon. Here. Mr. Ellis.
Here.
Mr. Smith. Mrs. Wolford. Here. Mayor Stepps. Here. Solicitor Gorman.
Okay. We're going to go a little out of order right now, and I'll explain why. I have something I want to discuss, and I want to do that first so that it gives everyone time to comment on it, instead of trying to do it after the fact. So we'll talk about this, and then we'll do the public comment, and anybody can have comments on this. As I had mentioned on Thursday, and I mentioned periodically about us meeting with the city, and through the summer and everything, they had shown interest. They had shown interest in extending the contract. Well, Bob forwarded me numbers today, and I'm pretty pleased with it. Based on the information that I've had from them in the past, I'm not really surprised by this. Like I mentioned many times before, Wilkins card numbers actually went down, and our call volumes are lower than they were, and the nature of the calls have been less than they anticipated. So I'm just going to go over this real quick, and just bear with me. I know it's going to be hard to... We're just talking right now about year 3, okay? Year 3, because we're already halfway through year 2. So year 3, the number is $111,000. Year 4, the number is $115,000. Year 5, the number is $122,000. Okay, that's the current numbers. All right. We have a proposal from the city. They're willing to extend it out 10 years. So year 5, in the last year of the contract, is $122,000. The city's proposal is year 6, $112,000. Year 7, $115,000. Year 8, $126,000. Year 9, $138,000. Year 10, $150,000. That works out to an average of $128,000 a year for years 6 through 10. And the way I looked at this was based on $122,000 for year 5, $128,000 for an average of $128,000 for 6 through 10 is pretty decent. My feeling is I was surprised that they were willing to do this because one of the big topics of discussion was their collective bargaining agreement that expires in 19. And they were very concerned about what was going to happen with that collective bargaining agreement. They're very concerned about workers' comp rates. They're very concerned about just insurance in general, health insurance in particular. So the fact that they were able to extrapolate this out 10 years for us, I will tell you, I am shocked. I would have been reluctant to do it, but I appreciate the fact that they have. So here's where we're at. I gave you those numbers, but that's before the difference comes off. So what we propose to do is we have that money in the fire truck fund. If we add a little bit of money to that to get it to an even number, to give it to an even 336, we can take $42,000 a year off for years 3 through 10, not 6 through 10, 3 through 10. So basically what you would have is year 3 is 110 minus the $20,000 that was built into the contract, minus another 42, which takes us down to 48. Year 4 was 114, minus 20 comes 94, minus 42 down to 52. Year 5 was 122, with the discounts it's 59. Now, in year 6, that's when the 20 rolls off, but we still have the 42. So the totals that we're going to pay in years 6 through 10 are 70, 73, 84, 96, 108. So that's the proposal. Based on the conversations I've had with many residents and with amongst ourselves, we spoke here on Thursday. The biggest concern that I've heard going forward with this for the last 2 years was what happens in year 6. They have us over the barrel because they can charge us whatever they want. They're going to drop us. So I think this answers those questions. I think those numbers are fair numbers when you consider that they're trying to forecast out health care for 8.5 years from now. And workers' comp, which is going through the roof because of private carriers dropping out. So, first of all, I'm going to go to council. Does council have any questions? As I talked to the finance committee about it, I mentioned it to Karen today for the police and fire. Does council have any questions about these numbers? I mean, I anticipated a drop, and I'm not real happy with the end number, but I'm happy with the early numbers. But the way I'm looking at it is it's a 128 average, and based on 122 in year 5, that's not too bad. Okay, now I'll take it to the audience. Does anybody have any comment on this?
We get a copy of numbers?
Yeah, well, I'm not done. This isn't official yet, so when we do have this official, that's what it is. But yeah, that's the numbers. So basically you gotta remember, it's 112, 115, 126, 138, 150. And we were at 122, 122 when you were
So
calling.
it's about $635,000 for 5 years, the second half of 5 years.
Minus.
It's 120, yeah, it's 128 times 5. Minus 42 times 5 for the last 5 years.
Where's that 42.5 coming from?
Comes from the fire truck fund.
The stuff you put in.
Well, it's everything that's in the fire truck fund. All that money went into the fire truck fund. And we're legally obligated to put it towards fire protection, so that's where that's coming. Does anybody else have any questions about that? I mean, my personal feeling is I think it's a good deal. My recommendation is we act on this before city council changes hands, and they maybe change their mind. I didn't think they would go for a 5-year extension with these numbers. I thought it was gonna be considerably higher, so, that would be my recommendation. So, is there any other public comment on
Has
this?
city council approved this yet?
They have not. The only thing we would be voting on is us advertising. They have not, but public safety has signed off on it, finance has signed off it, and legal has signed off on it. Which is why this was a huge production. And why it took so long. So, I mean, based on our past experience, I don't want to count chickens, but based on our past experience, they pretty much take recommendation of public safety. Any other comment on that? Okay, well, if someone wants to make a motion when we get to their report, then they can do that. Okay, now any other public comment tonight? Okay, thanks very much. All right, engineer support, Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gateway has completed a draft source reduction study, the requirement of the interim consent order. A draft copy of the report will be forwarded to the borough, I believe, tomorrow for review and comment. The report is due to the DEP by December 1st. There was also a storm sewer repair that was completed prior to the paving of Foster Avenue. This work was much more than was anticipated, so the contractor is requesting $4,500 for the completion of that repair.
How much was it, Brian?
$4,500.
That's sort of the trade-off when you do paving and sewage work at the same time.
Right.
It makes sense because you're not doing remediation for sewage work, but sometimes you get surprised, so.
And once they open it up too, this has been a maintenance issue.
It's been a maintenance issue for
Once-
years.
Once they open it up, it was a lot more.
Right. Yeah, it ended up being like a 2-day job, I think, instead of a 2-hour job. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Any questions for the engineer? So is that the end of the Foster then?
I believe so, yes, we're working on the final pay application.
And we're done with Barry?
Yes, that's already been completed.
Okay. Any consent order report? Anything going on with that?
Nothing.
Then you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Just the source reduction study.
Okay, right.
That's what I meant.
Ongoing. Okay, thanks, Brian. Any other questions? Thank you, Brian. I know you had to go. If you need to go. Go ahead.
I can stick around for each
Okay.
if you don't mind.
All right, committee reports. Highway Self Sanitation. Ms. Dixon, would you give these motions, please?
I have a motion to authorize an expenditure in the amount of $17,063.99 to Shay Cog for Ingram share of the joint O&M CCTV project as outlined in the engineer's letter of October 4th, 2017.